Libri, Septimi, Apertorii, Cracoviensis, Mystici, Sabbatici, Pars Quarta Anno, 1584, Mae, 23rd, 23rd, from the true and faithful relation of what passed for many years between Dr. John Dee and some spirits. I guess I might as well point out this starts page 153. Wednesday. It's not spelled regular Wednesday. Wednesday. Well, it is from Woden's, so that lowercase t cross thing. Cracovia, May 23rd, 7:15 of the afternoon. Post Rationis Nostris. Now I could translate more of this one just as we go on here. The curtain appeared at the first looking. Dee said, "There happened a great storm or temptation to Edward Kelly, of doubting and misliking our instructors and their doings, and of contemning and condemning anything that I knew or could do. I bear all things patiently for God, his sake, and so on. At length the curtain was opened, and they appeared. Edward Kelly said, I am contented to see, and to make true report of what they will show, but my heart standeth against them. Gabriel said, the time shall come that the oak of the 10th Enochian key, or what is it, that is beaten with every storm, shall be a dining table in the prince's hall. And something able doubting, that looks like 1/2, or it's kind of blurred, is in the margin with the following. Gabriel said, move not, for the place is holy. He that doubteth doth the property of the flesh, but he that hath faith hath the gift of the Holy Ghost. The swallow flieth swift, but where she lighteth, there is no remembrance of her being. Such are the words of man, but our words are like unto a swift arrow, that entereth and sticketh where it lighteth, as man loveth the hour for the gold that is in it. Oh, the ore. Okay. And for the end of his use, so God loved the dunghills of the world, and so on. But the enemy, the more he lifteth up himself, the greater shall be his fall. For instead of joy shall enter in 100, and instead of 100, 1,000. But beware those rebels, for they are like the small stones which are in every place of the earth. But move not. Let us do that which is our part. Unto others be it as they deserve. He said, I suspect this place to be imperfect. Next to that, and next to what Edward Kelly is about to say, the earthly globe appearing. Okay, Edward Kelly said, there appeareth a great thing like a globe, turning upon 2 axle trees. Navagi said, turn to the first air. Dee said, I have done. Navagi said, the earth is in the first air. It is this. Pointed that globe to it. Dee said, we beseech you to bound or determine the countries or portions of the earth by their uttermost longitudes and latitudes, or by some other certain matter. Navagi said, our manner is not as it is of worldlings. We determine not places after the forms of legs are as leaves are. Neither we can imagine anything after the fashion of an horn, as those that our cosmographers do. Notwithstanding, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Ptolemy, and opened unto him the parts of the earth. For some he was commanded to secret, and those are northward under your pole. But unto you the very true names of the world in her creation are delivered. And for D speaks, I guess let's get into the something words, something 15 principle angel appeared to Ptolemy, something ms, something ng, something any, something poles, something divini ation. D said, there appeared a great water, long and narrow, reddish, and thereby appeared. And Navalgi speaking again, I guess. There appeared written, Egypt. He hath in his hand written Syria. And of that he said, that it was the second of the first. Now appeareth a very fine land and region, in which appeared a great city, and the edge of it. There appeared written Mesopotamia, the third of the first. Now appeareth a large portion of the earth, wherein appeared bears, a great river from a hill, going into the sea with 3 mouths. The word written Cappadocia. The second of the second, written in his hand, Tuscia. D said, I pray you, do you mean Tuscia by Italy? The third of the second, written Parva Assia. Back in the, I don't know quite when the point was, but like in the Bible where you see the word Asia, they don't mean like everything from like on the other side of Afghanistan. They mean like something way over to the west of that. First, Hyrcania. D said, Mara Caspian appeared by it. The second, Thracia. The last here appear people going into caves of the ground and dwelling in caves. They are long-haired men, naked. Here appear great hills, and the veins of the gold mines appear. The men seem to have baskets of leather. This is one of the places under the pole Arctic, written Gosmam. D said, is it so called of the people of the country? Navagi said, even at this hour. Edward Kelly said, here appeareth a mighty great hill, and about it a great cave of water. Here appear beasts diverse, some like a swine, with feet like a bear, his neither jaw hanging to his something, and divers, and a mighty hill running with branches. Thereby lie things with husks on them. The first, he pointeth, written The Ba A De. The second, here the sun shineth fair, Parsadal. The third, here appeareth people very beastly, with mantles on their shoulders, and beasts with long snouts, India. Here appear great rotten trees, very old, great woods of them. Beyond the woods are great hills, great fens appear, and great marish ground. Fowls as big as swans, green, scaled on their backs in the water. first of the fifth, Bactrian the second, Cilicia the third, Oxiana. So the fifth Ather refers to like the Afghanistan area, I guess. The sixth, the first of the sixth, Numidia. The second, Cyprus. The third, Parthia. The first of the seventh, Getulia. The second, here is a great desert, no trees. In his hand, Arabia. The third, Phalagon. He said, I never heard of it. Edward Kelly said, it is toward the north, where the veins of gold and such people appear as before were noted. The Siberian region is very rich in some parts. It's like where they have the gulag is pretty much has everything minerally, and they can really afford to go through gas and stuff like that there because of what they have. But such people as before were noted. Okay. Groenland, as I think he said on the side. On this side, them a great way appear men, with Swinish stouts. Their village is so strated out, but to be perceived to be of human visage. The women have about their privatees very long hair down to their knees. The men have things on their shoulders of beast skins, as instead of a jerkin or mandolin. Now, understandably, there's a lot of projections of what the peoples of the world are, because, I don't know how that would work, having, and I know that, some of these descriptions aren't true. 8, the first of the 8th, Muntians, people appear here of reddish color. The second, Soxia, on the one side of the black men. Third, something like Spaniards, appear very high men with Spanish capes, without swords by their sides. Here appear great towns, diverse, the name being not evident, we urged, and Gallia appeared. 8, the first, Illyria, the second, something, if thou stir, thou shalt never see more. Edward Kelly. Sogdiana. The third, Lydia. The first, Caspis. Now, there's narrations that indicate about the Caspian Sea. The Caspian Sea is said to be a place where there are no prophets came to them. It doesn't mean that they didn't get guidance from elsewhere, but between Caspian and the Black Sea, I think was what was mentioned. No prophets of God, that is. The second, Germania. Men like Dutchmen with leather stocks. The third, Trinara. Here appear monkeys, great flocks. The people have leather coats and no beards, thick leather and garters. They gather up. Think, something with a G. Think, I don't know what the Caspius, Germania, Trinaria. Navagi continued, these people are not known with you. He said, are they not in Africa? Navagi said, they be. Now a dark fog covereth all the stone. Navagi said, stay while. Edward Kelly said, I pray you, let us go to dinner. Move not, I say. Navagi prayeth. Now he pointeth to a place. 11. The first of the 11th, Bithynia. The second, a great city, and the sea hard by it. Gracia. D said, is not that great city Constantinople? Navagi said, it is. There is the seat of that great devil, the Turk. Navagi said, he is but tenant at will. The third, is it Lycia? Do you say Lycia? Lycia? 12. The first of the 12th. Edward Kelly said, here appear handsome men in gathered tucked garments, and their shoes come up to the middle of their legs, of diverse colors, of diverse colored leather. Well, there's different spelling and things are blurred and sometimes the letter is weird, sometimes it's not. I mean, weird to the modern eye. Navagi said, these be those beyond Hispaniola. Edward Kelly said, it is a low country. Here appear great piles of stones like St. Andrew's crosses. Two notable rivers are here. The women have great covertures over their heads, coming from their shoulders, as the Hoiks in Flanders. O ne gap. Onyagap. There are those on this side of it, a great way, a great number of dead carcasses. Navagi said, it is beyond Geapan. D said, then it is that land which I used to call Atlantis. Navagi said, they stretch more near the west. There are 25 kingdoms in it. The second, beyond a place where the Gese, Gese, India. India in the heavenly government is divided into two parts. This is called the Greater Ind. The third, a great many little isles. Orkney. He said, do you mean the Isles of Orkney? Navagi said, no. D said, they seem to be the Isles of Malacha. The first of the 13th. Achaia. The second, Armenia. Edward Kelly said, a great old castle standeth on the side of the top of a very high hill. It seemeth to be made of wood. It seemeth four-cornered. He said, I beseech you, what is that castle? Navagi said, it is the Ark of Noah. Noah. The third, Sicilia. Cilicia. Navagi said, you never knew this. Cilicia. This is Cilicia, where the children of Nimrod dwell. Nimrod. It is up in the mountains beyond Cathay. Edward Kelly said, this people, some great giants and some fair. Their apparel is gowns tucked up. They are very costly apparelled, and in their faces they have great jewels like precious stones hanged. They are marvelously rich, apparelled in silks. 14. The first, here seems as if many beasts were thrown down, and castles, Paphlagonia. Only one hill appeared in it, very long. The second, Phasiana. The third, here be men with broad caps like Egyptians, and many mountains are here on one side. Chaldai. 15. The first, Apertorii. Here appear woods, waters, and fair towns, but the people are yellow, tawny, and have great lumps of flesh under their throats. They are to the south of the last. Cilicians, or is it Cilicians, or how are you supposed to pronounce that? There are 14 kingdoms of them. The second, Macedonia. The third, Garamantica, people of a low stature, black, swarthy people, naked. I mean, where in the world do people actually wander around naked? The first of the 16th, here, like men of wild gesture, clothed like Polonians. This country is Sauromatica. The second, Ethiopia. Edward Kelly said, Ethiopia technically was like a word for Africa because it meant burnt-faced. You know, referring to their color. Edward Kelly said, here are some naked, some not naked, covered with red garments. The houses seem like tents made of cloth and leather. There are great rivers. The third, Edward Kelly said, now he showeth by the North Pole and the great mountain. Oh, see. If these are real entities, they're obviously not being completely honest about the geography. But then they said, we don't think as the world thinks, and so they could be referring to something else, something figurative or something. Fe'akim, here be 7 kingdoms. Their chief city is called Fe'akim. Theakim. All that are of that king's council are astronomers. The king's name that now governeth is Gaplakar the first. Seest thou this country? Kolchika, Edward Kelly. The second, Kirniaka. Edward Kelly said, hard by great water. The third, Nasamania. The first, Carthago. The second, now appear many crocodiles, long-necked, scaled on the body with long tails, something coxlant. Oh, that would be the third. A great place appeareth, covered about with fire. Many great serpents appear here of 200 foot. It appeareth very eastward. No people appear here. I don't know, they talk about New Zealand or something, I don't know. But I guess I should have been giving all these Enochian pronunciations, but we'll get into that elsewhere in a different series, organizing some of the stuff. Edward Kelly said, there cometh from heaven, like a mist, and covereth a great place, about 300 miles long, like a park, enclosed with fire. It is on high ground. There come 4 rivers out of it, one east, another west, another north, and another south. The pales or enclosure of it seem to be arches, beset most richly with precious stones. In the gate of it stand 3 men like us. One is in a long gown with many pleats. The other like in a cassock. The third in the rough skin of a beast. In the name of Jesus, is this the paradise that Adam was banished out of? No, I mean, spirits can be more leading than police who just want to catch people rather than the right. It's like, well, he did this and this and this. Oh yeah, that's what he did. Or she, or whatever. Is this paradise? Are you of the white brotherhood, or I don't mean the racist thing. I mean like the thing in India, or the Taoist or Theosophist kind of messed it up a little bit, but anyways, finish out of it. Okay, the Navagis continued, the very same. From hence he was turned out into the earth. This is the true veil of Josaphat. D said, will you give me leave? Say on. Navagi said, it should seem this must be on the earth, not in the air. Oh wait, no, D said, will you give me leave? Say on. It should seem this must be on the earth, not in the air. Navagi said, it is upon the earth. D said, you said that from hence he was turned out into the earth. Navagi said, the curse of God in Adam caused the earth whereon he was cast to be accursed. I agree with what I was raised with in the respect that, man shall be punished for their own sins and not for Adam's transgression, I think is the quote. For if Adam had, after his fall, tarried in paradise, his wickedness would have altered the innocency of the place. Therefore is paradise distinguished from earth in respect of her purity, because the earth is defiled and corrupted with man. The earth is said to be sinful in respect of the sin of man. D said, till 45 degrees, both northerly and southerly, all is known in the most parts of the world, but of any such place there is no knowledge nor likelihood by any history of these days or of old time. Navagi said, therefore this is cunning, and the wisdom of God. There dwelleth flesh in it, that shall never die, which were taken up for a testimony of truth. Also, a parallel between the LDS thing is the idea of living people that were, that are continually living testimonies. D said, Eli and Enoch, by the apocalypse, do seem that they should suffer death under Antichrist, if we understand right. There's Eli, Enoch, and John. They shall seem to be dead by his power, but not dead. Navagi said, the third, that would be interesting if there was a response there, but, the third, Edomes, 19, the first, Prastavia, I know it not, said D. The second, Celtica, that we understand commonly now for Gallia, that is, it is that which you call Flandria, the Low Country. Third, Edward Kelly said, here appear men with talons like lions. They be very devils. There are 5 isles of them. These be they that can dwell in any part of the earth, and are called Palace. Nothing differeth them, but in that they have bodies. Vinson. 20. The first, Edward Kelly said, under the South Pole, here appear little men with long beards, their bodies as children's bodies. So, under the South Pole is in the margin there, and a wonderful great city in the margin of what Navagi says next. Navagi said, there dwelleth the wonderful empire of the world, and the wonderful city of the world. Here are 112 kingdoms. This city is 146 leagues about. D said, you understand 2 English miles for a league, as in France. Navagi said, aye. There dwelleth the true generation of Com, Yolpom. I think that's a Yol. But that could be a Tolpom. The second, Carcedonia. The third, Italia. He said Italia and Britannic were before applied, the third of the 13 and first of the 14. Navaghi said, therefore these two places shall be reconciled. And he pointeth to a great city with a river by it. Navaghi said, this is that city which shall not have one stone standing in it. This city is in Italia. He said, is it Rome, I pray you? Navaghi said, it is Rome. Edward Kelly said, now there is come a white mist in the stone. Cease, said a voice. A voice said, stay for a while. Edward Kelly said something, and Navaghi said, read them in my hand as thou seest them. He said that he spoke to Edward Kelly.